Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in as always. So we're going to take a look at one of the new offerings from Reate Knives. This is a collaboration with Tashi Bharucha and it is called the Baby Machine. Now this was debuted at USN Show 2017 and it was one of the more compelling offerings. Actually, this and just for size reference here, the Leong Ma Lani were my two favorite offerings at the show as far as new debuts go. Now, granted, the USN show is more of a custom show, not really a production knife show where a lot of production knives are introduced. But anyways, these were my two favorite. And in the world of frame lock flippers, there's a lot of them these days. There's a lot of really good frame lock flippers and frame lock knives. I think this is, visually, aesthetically, even functionally, one of the most appealing offerings that have come out in some time. So we'll go through the specs, overall impressions, details. I did shoot a video of the debut of the knife at the USN show with Tashi. So if it's going to translate well enough for this video, I'm going to try to show you on my phone because I'm low tech, a little white trash. That's okay.
Dear Lotto, tomorrow at 4. At 4? Take one. Thank you.
Tashi, what's this model called?
It is the Baby Machine. It's the baby version of this custom I made called the Machine. And that's the baby.
When do you think it'll come to market?
I'm pretty sure they're maybe 3 months away from releasing it. Got a two-piece handle, no backspacer. Nice dimples. I'm really sitting with this thing.
Awesome. Very cool piece. All right, so again, definitely not high-tech by any means. That was a kind of a look at the model here. Man, 35 weeks ago, that was what, September? Yeah, the first week of September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So, I mean, we're 8 months out. As you heard Tashi say, he's like, yeah, probably 3 months out. So, essentially 7-8 months later, the knife came out. Reate has been very, very much in demand for their in-house productions, their OEM work that they do. So they're behind, and that is kind of to be expected at the moment. So they've changed their pouch yet again, a little bit smaller, still fluffy, full of cloth, patch, extra hardware. Pretty much par for the course these days. So, all right, long intro. Let me show you guys a couple size comparisons here. So, the Kershaw Dividend in S35, dog hair everywhere. Fairly close in size. Para 2, so you can see smaller than the Para 2 there. And then let me show you guys two other Tashi designs. Both produced by Reate. So, Starboy, we'll get to this one in a later video, and then the Future, also from Tashi. So, I've got dog hair all over everything. Holy crap! All right, so there's three Tashi designs. Very different, but you can see kind of the Tashi influence, the Tashi lines, and so forth. Some of them are dirty, but we'll just focus on the mini machine, or baby machine today is actually what it's called. So spec wise, this one has a blade length of about 3.25, cutting edge is 3 inches. As you can see, it's kind of got a finger choil of sorts. The handle length is 4.125, overall about 7.3. Handle thickness is 0.54. Let's take a look at a Para 2. It is contoured though. It's contoured. You got a few flat planes, but overall it's got a very contoured feel. It's a contoured knife. And let's see here, weighs in at 4 ounces. So again, another shot with the Para 2 here. But that's what we're looking at. I think that's it for the specs. Blade steel's RWL34. drop point style blade, obviously titanium. It uses an opening hole, runs on bearings, ceramic detent, ceramic bearings. One thing I will say with the Bay Machine here, and also with the Starboy, and while we're on the subject, also with the Liang Ma Lani flipper, the new Reate knives are coming from the factory completely broken in. So, I mean, these knives are coming just, you know, like completely. It's like the knife, like someone's been carrying it for weeks or months and they've just flipped it like crazy, and it's just, you know, incredibly smooth. It's got that nice, just completely kind of polished action. All the new Reate models are coming like that. So I don't know what they're doing to improve their actions from the factory floor, but you know, it's really impressive when you get a knife in hand and it just blows you away. In the past, it's usually taken a couple weeks to break in a Reate knife to get it to that optimum level of smoothness. So again, kind of minute detail, but things that we as enthusiasts think about. Now, the last spec price is $320 on this thing. So, you know, overall impressions, again, I feel like it's one of the more compelling offerings in terms of design and execution. Ergonomically, it's got numerous hand positions here that are very comfortable, lets you, you know, basically it's like the knife is built, it's like two different knives into one with the way that you can handle this thing and get some really comfortable grips and increase the length. You can choke up, numerous opening methods. So it's really interesting, and it comes from a designer who is, of course, very respected and very well known. Execution, fit and finish, all top notch. I have yet to have to send a Reate back for any warranty work as far as factory defects or issues, and I've had well over 30 at this point. So, long intro. That's the specs, overall impressions, when it came out, who the designer is. Hopefully that answers all the basic information, although most of you probably dropped off at 2 minutes in once you saw the knife. So for those of you sticking around, let's talk a little more detail about this particular knife. So those of you in the know, all you want me to talk about is this knife versus the Mastrop Prism. That's all you're here for. That's what you want to know, because they're different price points. Unfortunately, this video is not the Mastrop Prism versus the Reate and Tashi baby machine. I had to send the Mastrop Prism prototype back several months ago without putting pictures of this knife and the Prism side by side. Honestly, they will look identical to anyone just briefly glancing. When you get them side by side, there's a few differences in terms of the blade length, in terms of the blade shape. You know, this one kind of swoops down. The Mastrop Prism is kind of, you know, more straight across the top. This one's got nicer finishing overall in terms of the details, definitely the pocket clip. The action is nicer on this one. I don't even know if that's worth noting. I mean, perhaps the other one would have broken it eventually, but from the one prototype I had, again, sample of size of one is not conclusive, and I've only got one of these as well. A little bit smoother, a little nicer machining, same blade steel, same pivot, same construction as far as two pieces of titanium that have been hollowed out and put together to create kind of a faux integral back spacer. You know, it really comes down to, like, let's say you're going to the car dealership, you're looking at an EX versus an LX. One's not necessarily better than the other, it's just one has, you know, perhaps a little bit nicer features than the other for quite a bit higher price. So the Mastrop Prism, $235 was the initial price, $250 will be the normal price. This one's coming in at $320. Difference of $70. You know, again, it's purely aesthetic. It's purely up to you. You know, functionally in the hand, I honestly don't think you're really going to notice much of a difference. So if you're a value-driven consumer, go for the Prism. If you like a little bit nicer, a little bit finer things, this one has a little bit nicer finishing. So those are the things to think about. Perhaps, you know, you prefer kind of the solid handles instead of the, you know, triangular shaped cutouts. This one's a little bit heavier since there's not so many cutouts. Anyways, again, this is not the video of the Prism versus the baby machine, but that is all you guys want me to talk about because I know you guys, and those are the questions that kept coming up on Instagram. So hopefully that gives you guys food for thought. Again, it's not conclusive by any means. But one of my favorite things about this knife is definitely the ergonomics. So as you can see, we have a few different handle grips built in. So first finger, you can come all the way back, kind of get your thumb forward, kind of the bone of your thumb rests right here, super comfortable. You get a little bit longer reach, very, very comfortable. Let's see, other hand, so scratch my ring up. Anyways, like so, this is the kind of grip we get. Or again, you can choke up. I can get 2 fingers here in the front portion. And again, I have an extra large hand, so just about all of you can get the same grip. If your hands are bigger than mine, this is probably not the knife for you. But you choke up and your thumb, again, rests kind of here on the dip in the spine of the knife, and that's also just incredibly comfortable. So 2 separate grips, almost 2 separate knives in terms of the feel. Balance point is right here. It's right here. So show you guys that if I can, underneath the camera, like so. The balance point is not towards the front of the blade, that just falls back. But when you've got the 2 fingers here and kind of this forward finger choil of sorts, just feels very controlled. You can get a nice, pinch grip on it by choking up on it. Again, fairly thin blade stock, and it does come down to a flat ground edge, so slicing with this has been delightful. So anyways, let's take a look at it up close. Show you guys some of the machining here, little polished divots of sorts. I'm assuming this is a some sort of media blast here on the handle. Here's one other difference. In the Prism, the enclosed backspacer came to about here where my nail is. On this one, it actually comes up closer, so you can see you can't get anywhere near the blade. It's completely encased. RWL34, of course. So that's a nice feature, of course. Lanyard hole at the back, pocket clip. Looks really very artistic, very attractive. From the top, it may not look that functional, but we turn it to the side, and there is plenty of space for jeans. It's worked and carried very well. Centering is spot on. It's also blind screwed from the front, so you just have the pivot. All the screws go in from the back. Again, nice attention to detail. Certainly harder to do on a contoured knife. They've done it on a few other knives thus far. Stainless steel lock insert. Lock up fairly early. No blade play, No movement. As you can see, it's in the exact same spot. And no lock stick. And again, the opening methods, just for the middle finger flick, works beautifully. For your thumb, works really well. You can use your index finger. Well, some people are really good. I can't. You can do the Spidey drop. So just a plethora of openings. Disengagement. You guys can see the chamfering in here for lock bar disengagement. Works perfectly. Again, really, really well done. One of the more compelling designs from a lot of different aspects for me personally. Again, I need something a little bit different, a little further out there to kind of excite me these days. Not that there's anything wrong with, a lot of the other things that have crossed my channel, but again, this was one of my favorite things to come out, one of my favorite designs, one of my favorite knives to come out at the USN show. And it's a solid offering. If you want to do this one, if you want to wait for the Prism and you have the patience to wait for the Master Drop Prism, go for it. If you aesthetically like this one better, go for it. So really well done. Tashi is a fabulous designer. Really great eye. And again, this design just excites me. So I really enjoyed this one. Has kind of a little more refined, a little more gentlemanly-esque type of appeal to it. And it's definitely fun to fidget with, and then the smoothness is just out of control. It does kind of hit the tang of the blade right here, but a little bump gets it right over, so yeah. So hopefully that's everything you guys needed to know for this particular knife. Comments or questions, let me know. Of course, I post daily content on Instagram. Pro tip, my videos, any videos you can always watch in 1.25 or 1.5 speed. if they drag on a little too much. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, a thumbs down if you did not. And as always, more videos to come. See ya.